Swipe Up, episode 234, the podcast where I share my unfiltered thoughts on the latest news and entertainment updates. I'm your host, Ray Taylor. Pandora's box. Doctors warn of rising plant fungus infections in people after the first of its kind case. A man in India was the first human known to be infected by a fungus called Chondrostereum purpureum, which is usually responsible for causing silver leaf disease in plants. For anybody that's watched the show The Last of Us, it is, you can call it a zombie show, but the premise is that due to global climate change, the rise of temperatures, fungus that cannot exist inside humans because the internal temperature of humans is not does not sustain life for fungus. Fungus cannot live in our internal body temperatures. But because of the rise of temperature, funguses evolved to survive in higher temperatures, thus allowing fungus to infect humans, which is the premise of The Last of Us, which is something that we see fungus do in insects that aren't warm-blooded creatures. And this story could be the tip of the iceberg as far as what we can look forward to as far as new types of infections. If funguses are going to start having the ability to exist inside humans, this could be a very bad thing. The patient, a plant mycologist, made a full recovery and did not experience any reoccurrence of the infection after 2 years of follow-up observations. So this was actually a while ago. Not that long ago, I guess. This case study shows the risk that fungal pathogens pose to humans, particularly with the contribution of human activities such as climate change and rampant urbanization that have opened Pandora's box for newer fungal diseases. Fungal pathogens infect about 150 million people each year, resulting in 1.7 million deaths. Fungi are the source of fictional diseases depicted in the apocalyptic game The Last of Us, as I said, and also a real-life scourge. Only a small fraction of the millions of fungal species can infect animals and humans, given their high body temperatures and sophisticated immune systems. Prolonged exposure and genetic susceptibilities could be the possible reason for infection in the patient. Climate change is accelerating the spread of infectious disease in general, including fungal pathogens, by allowing microbes to adapt to higher temperatures, expand their range, and interact with new hosts. Yay! Everybody, conservatives are so worried about refugees from other countries. Anybody that has an excess of melanin in their skin and not from the United States, they are considered to be the biggest threat to the United States. However, the real refugees you need to be worried are the viral and fungal refugees that are spreading and actually causing a lot of death. I don't know if anybody's heard of the pandemic that we just had. I'm sure a lot of people are in denial that millions of people are dead from it, but it would be an insane cover-up to kind of convince a whole scientific and medical community that a pandemic happened without us knowing. But anyway, fungi can be more dangerous than viruses or bacteria, as they do not require host-to-host contact to establish infection and can cause complete host extinction. Cross-kingdom human pathogens have important implications for the emergence of infectious disease, and more research is needed to understand the nature of the infections and strategies to mitigate their spread. I really enjoyed The Last of Us. I thought it was a great show. Not the premise of it. The thinking of that premise becoming a reality isn't great. But I mean, with so many different things that are potentially going to be responsible for the eradication of humans on this planet, I just hope I'm at ground zero. I don't want to. I don't really care to try and survive that and be one of the long-lasting survivors of a apocalyptic event. I'm good to go for the forever sleep, if you know what I mean. So anyway, kind of crazy, not surprising, and it's just the new reality we're living in. As if like this, like, even if that wasn't a threat, then you have like, there's just so many things in this world that are like, especially in this country, the United States, where it's like most people can't even afford to exist. It's so amazing how many people argue about somebody having the ability to earn a living wage, as if that's some kind of gift that you should be able to survive by working a job. And then on top of that, you have like increased food prices with corporate greed. You have the inability to purchase a home. Home prices are ridiculous and mostly owned by large corporations. Like any kind of like the life that you can have these days, especially in America, is laughable. And then you think about the gun violence that exists and how desperate people are to protect the profits of gun manufacturers. You think about the environmental tragedies that are happening by all these companies that are deregulating everything and doing everything to maximize profits and absolutely decimate poison. Like, water is not drinkable in like so many places in a first world. Like, we are slowly slipping into, and maybe not slow is not the right term, but we are definitely regressing into a nation that at some point will not be able to be referred to as a what is it called, like a developed nation, a first world, right? We are slipping into more of a third world where things are falling down. Our water we struggle for drinking water. There's only a few kings that exist, and everybody else is kind of killing themselves. It is deteriorating into a kind of a horrible place to live. And it's amazing how many people are celebrating and actively pushing for that degradation. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Swipe Up. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts and insights on the latest news and entertainment updates. Please join the conversation by leaving a comment or rating on your favorite podcast platform, or if you're watching this over on YouTube. I'll see you next Thursday for more unfiltered opinions and fresh perspectives. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.